I've heard you say, when the press was talking to you last week after Familia's injury, that you have a high tolerance for frustration.
Yeah.
But has this year tested that, considering all the work you guys put in to get to this point?
Well, anytime you don't meet your own expectations, a certain amount of frustration or disappointment comes with that. I wouldn't say that the level of frustration is any different this year than it may have been in other years where we similarly did not meet expectations or our own expectations. And because I've done this a few times, I don't overreact to it. You can't underreact, and you have to be active and looking for solutions, but at the same time you can't be paralyzed by frustration. That's usually counterproductive.
Does it help that you guys have gone through things like situations like this and seen this team and this group respond from it?
Yeah, absolutely. We need to be a lot more consistent. But in order to be more consistent, it's not our prospects in Las Vegas that are going to make the difference. It's our starting rotation and the guys in our bullpen, because ultimately the pitching is what creates the consistency.
Is that the #1 objective right now, to get the starting rotation in order?
Well, what we have to do is, it's not so much to get the starting rotation in order, although that's certainly a high priority. It's making sure that we understand what starting pitching we have, and then balance that with the bullpen that we have, and make sure that, to the extent possible, we're maximizing our resources both in the rotation and in the bullpen. And because our starting pitching hasn't been as good over the first part of the season, we have to reevaluate how we use the bullpen. It's one thing for a starting pitcher to go 7 innings and use the pen for 2 innings. It's something else for the starting pitcher to go 5 or 6 and use the bullpen for 3 or 4. And that's kind of the conundrum that we've had over the first weeks of the season.
Overall, where you sit right now after the years that you've done this, not only including the major league level, but the minor leagues as well, how do you feel with the status of this organization, talent-wise?
No, I think we're in an excellent position. I think that we've certainly suffered some injuries, and we have to figure out a way to reduce the number and frequency of those occurrences. It's something the entire industry goes through, but we have to look at our own systems and processes to make sure that those are as efficient and well informed as possible. We've always focused on the process and not the result, and so I think that with our recent rash of injuries, we've gone back to kind of focusing on the process and make sure that we're doing everything we can to minimize those.
Well, we thank Joe Krause of Mets Insider for that interview with Sandy. And for more of the interview and a closer look at the Mets' top prospect, Amed Rosario, make sure to tune in to Mets Insider Sunday, June 4th, immediately following Mets Postgame Live.